All right, guys, so pretty cool. So this all you can eat Korean barbecue and hot pot is basically right near or even on top of the lake here. That is really cool. Everyone, is One Stop Guy. How's everyone all doing today? Hoping everybody is having a great day today. All right, guys, I'm in the city of Foster City, California, and we're gonna be going into this Korean barbecue and hot pot right here. It's called The Warehouse. All right, your first time here, heard about it. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna try it out, we're gonna check it out, and we're gonna share with you guys as well. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so once again, I am in Foster City, California. And if you guys don't know where Foster City is, it is about 40 minutes away from San Jose and about an hour and a half from Sacramento. All right, guys, so I heard about this all you can eat Korean barbecue and hot pot. Heard about it for a while now, but just never got a chance to stop by, try it out and all that stuff, guys. So today we're gonna be going inside here, we're gonna check it out, we're gonna try it out, and at the same time share with you guys as well. Alright, guys, so today is a weekday and we are going here during lunchtime, and the price is $23.99 per person. Drinks are extra, and if you guys go on the weekend or dinner, it's gonna be $32.99 per person. Okay, so like I said, I heard about this all you can eat buffet here, Korean barbecue and hot pot. Never been here before, but heard there is a very nice lake view that you guys can sit here by the window section and you guys can see the lake, and it's really beautiful. So we thought we're gonna come here, we're gonna check it out ourselves, and at the same time share with you guys as well. Alright, guys, so here is the lunch menu, and I will be showing you guys the dinner menu too, so that way you guys have an idea what's the difference. If you guys want to check out the menu in more detail, please pause the video. This menu right here, guys, is an extra charge, okay? Is not included in the buffet. Yeah, 2 people.
Okay, so you're gonna choose your own soup, and you're gonna choose your own soup. Just mark it out 1 and 1, okay? And maximum up to 10. Just mark down check right there, okay? Just a hot pot, no barbecue, right?
No barbecue.
Okay, here you go.
What is the time limit?
Time limit? Approximately 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm inside Warehouse Buffet in Foster City. All right, it's an all-you-can-eat. I'm gonna try it out, okay? You guys can see the water moving right there. Pretty cool, right? All right, guys, so like mentioned, we are here during a weekday for lunch. $23.99. Drinks are extra. All right, so here at this Warehouse Buffet, there are 3 options. 1, you can choose the barbecue. 2, you can choose the hot pot alone. Or 3, you can choose both for $5 more. Okay, so either barbecue or either hot pot or both for $5 more. All right, so here, as the staff said, you're gonna choose your soup base first, and then you're gonna choose 10 items in the menu, and then they're gonna bring it out, and then after that, when you're almost done, you can choose more. 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, eat as much as you can within that 2-hour limit, okay, for $23.99, which I think is pretty good. All right, and then they also do have a separate sauce bar as well. They have some snacks, desserts, and stuff over here, so make sure you guys go over here and make your basically your sauce, so that way you can dip the meat. All right, guys, so we're gonna try it out today, like mentioned, and we're gonna share with you guys as well. And here I'm gonna walk around to show you guys the section that I was talking about here, the sauce section, desserts, and all that stuff. All right, guys, so we are super hungry. We're gonna go ahead and start grubbing on, pigging out, but make sure you guys stay in a little bit for my honest review. Alright guys, and before I give you guys my honest review, I want to show you guys the lake view. Super beautiful, guys. So if you guys want to be near the lake view, make sure you guys ask them for a window seating spot, okay? Very beautiful. Alright guys, so what do you guys think of that lake view? Very beautiful, right? Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my honest review of the all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue and hot pot in the city of Foster City, California. And the buffet is called the Warehouse Buffet. Alright guys, so we are here during lunchtime and the price per person is $23.99. Drinks are extra. Alright, so they have three options like mentioned. Either you guys choose the barbecue or the hot pot, or you guys can choose both for $5 more. So that's basically $28.99 for both. Okay, so yeah guys, so we opted to get the hot pot today for $23.99, and to my surprise guys, it's actually pretty good. Food quality was really good, the meat quality was good, the seafood is actually pretty fresh. Okay, and then customer service, Michael, the gentleman that talked to us at the beginning of the video telling us how it works, was excellent service. He provided excellent service. Okay, really nice, really cool, cleaned off our plate pretty quickly and very friendly. Okay, so if you guys see him at this buffet, make sure to say hi and say you guys saw him on YouTube. Okay, or you guys saw him on one of the YouTube channels, so he knows who it is. Okay, just say you saw him on YouTube, which is, I think that's good enough. All right guys, anyways, I like this buffet a lot guys. So the other things that I like is that they actually do have a section where you guys can get your sauce, and not only that, they also have kind of like a buffet style section where you can get some desserts and some other stuff and all that, as you guys saw when I was doing the food tour, okay, at the buffet. Because usually when you guys go to one of these all-you-can-eat, they really don't have those stuff, but here they do, and it's actually a pretty big selection. I'm very surprised. And the thing that I really like about this buffet is that lake view earlier. Very beautiful guys. Heard about it for a couple months now, but just never got a chance to stop by, and here we are today. Try it out, and I'm glad we did try it out because it was pretty good, pretty worth the money guys, and a great experience. So I'm gonna go ahead and give an overall score of a 9 out of 10. All right guys, so a pretty good spot, pretty solid. You guys should try it out if you guys are in the area. But once again, it is based on my experience, the day that I was there, the time that I was there, so your experience may be different. So if you guys want to know for yourself, you guys got to come here and try it out for yourself to know. All right guys, but that's our experience, and we got a great experience today. All right guys, if you guys have any questions or comment, leave them down below. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button, okay? And tap on the notification bell, so whenever I upload any new videos, you'll be the first to be notified. Alright guys, so the rest of the video, I'm just gonna be sitting here eating for a while. If you guys like to watch, please watch. If you guys don't want to watch, you guys can shut it off. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.